folks, and welcome back to Handlebars and Holidays. Sorry it's been a little while. So it's tour time. I'm going to take the old GS for a tour around the goldfields of Western Australia. We kick off tomorrow morning, me and a few mates, and I think I'm all packed and ready to go. But anyway, let's get the intro out the way and I'll give you a quick look around the bike. So in terms of luggage, tons of space. All my clothing and toiletries are in that pannier. This pannier's got all the cold weather stuff in. Hopefully I won't need any of that. And the top box has basically got everything else in. So luggage isn't a problem. What I have done differently this time is the camera setup. I'm going to film this in a very different way. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out, but I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so what I've done with this camera, which is a bit different than anything I've done before, I've set this GoPro up basically as a dash cam. So it's on a 20-minute loop, there's no battery in there, and it's going to be powered by this power bank, because I have found that the power supply from the bike, it's probably a little bit unstable, and anybody that uses GoPros will know how tetchy they are. So I've had quite a few failures when trying to power it from the bike. Powering it from an independent power bank, the stability that provides, obviously once I plug that in there, away we go. It seems to work quite well. So the idea is that camera will be running pretty much all the time, and if a kangaroo bounces out in front of us or anything like that, hopefully that will catch it, because I don't really intend doing much filming as we're actually riding. On the other side of the bike will be another GoPro here, which is the one I'm currently talking to you on, which I will switch on and off as I see fit, just to get a little bit of footage of us going down the road. I can actually reach over when I'm riding and just press the button on the top of that, turn it on for a couple of minutes, turn it off, and that will be running on its own independent battery. So yeah, fingers crossed that all works out right. So that's it. As far as I can tell, I think I've thought of everything. I'm sure I won't have, but I think I've got everything. The bike's ready to go. We're all gassed up. First thing in the morning, away we go. And the weather's looking a little bit iffy. It looks like we might be setting off with waterproofs on, but generally through the week, it doesn't look to be too bad. So yeah, fingers crossed. Right, it's time for the off. I've got about a 40-minute ride now to meet the other guys that I'm going with. There's 6 of us all together, so it should be a laugh. Okay, so I appear to be the first here. Fingers crossed I've got the start point right. Should be here any minute. Some pretty dodgy weather on the way here, but managed not to get wet up to now. It's brightened up a little bit, but some really shitty clouds I just rode under and got away with it. So this is Paul.
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, John. Paul. Fingers crossed we managed to dodge that bit of rain this morning.
Yeah, I was lucky.
So here's John, or JB if you like. We've got 6 people on this trip, and 3 of them are called John. So this is JB. So here's another John. This is Flashy John on his Ducati. So we've got a full contingent of people now. We've just picked up Mike and John there en route, so time for a quick brew and then we'll crack on. So we're in Meriden, just had a quick lunch. The weather is a bit iffy, it rained on the way here, got us, so we're hoping for the best for the next leg. So here we are, we've made it. Let's see what we got. Oh look, it's the Ritz. We're in the Ritz. Oh, would we sleep in there? Look in here. And oh yes, look at that. Well, spa's small, isn't it? That'll do. Nice and clean. That'll do. Great.
You go up there and you look at a hill and you go, is that a hill or a It's a bit hard to tell, isn't it?
So that in the background there is the super pit at Kalgoorlie, which we'll go and have a look at some point.
A lot of years, John.
Now that is Kalgoorlie. So good morning folks, so we've made it to day 2. Good night's sleep last night, it was a nice comfy bed. So today we are leaving Kalgoorlie up to Menzies, over to Lake Ballard, which is a bit of an attraction I believe, and then back through Menzies and up to Lenora where we're staying tonight. So next thing is to scrape all the dead flies off the windscreen on the bike so I can see where I'm going. And then a bit of breakfast and then I think we're away. So everybody is slowly waking up, clean the bugs off the screen, and we're all good. John, apparently I've not got to get too close to John with the camera because he hasn't got his teeth in yet. So we've just stopped in Menzies for a quick coffee and leg stretch, and this is Menzies. Basically, if you see those flags towards the end of the street there, that's the end. That's one end of Menzies and I'm standing at the other. So yeah, tiny little place, but like John's just commented, these places are in the middle of nowhere, and there's no litter, there's no graffiti, there's nothing. They are kept nice, which is good. This is also the town that has no unleaded fuel. So today's the day that everybody's using their fuel cans. And we're going that way shortly to Lake Ballard, which we think is partly unpaved. So that's going to be interesting. I think nobody knows quite what to expect. So this is Lake Ballard.
You can tell where all the statues are because of all the tracks going.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but out there, try and get some footage in a minute. Is lots of little statues. But this is Lake Ballard, just outside Menzies. Interesting place. The flies seem to like it here. So we're back in Menzies and suitably refreshed after another very health conscious lunch. Wasn't it, John?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So on to Lenora now, where we're staying tonight. So this is Gwalia, which is apparently a preserved town site. So this is how they used to live in the good old days, I suppose. Let's have a bit of a nosy.
There it is, though.
A pair of thread cutting dies. Piston. Double on gold.
How far does this date back? How old is this?
What, Gwalia? 1887,
Something like that.
something like that.
Jeez. Older than you then, John.
Only just.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but no problem. Couple of weekends. Should be good as new. Jeez, they're not short of flies here, are they? Whoa. Oh, this is freaky. Look at the kitchen. Amazing. This one's got a lined ceiling, it's posh. Go on, have a quickie. Oh, here's the music room. Bedroom. Beautiful.
Makes me want to go home. My house looks comparatively modern for this.
I'll get you the bedside, love. I'll make one for you.
Unbelievable. Somehow you look quite right though in there, you two.
Right top, it's got a stone floor.
It's what?
It's got a stone floor.
Oh wow.
Well, this is the.
Oh yeah.
This was an Italian's house.
And a double bed. Of course it was.
This one was constructed in 1938.
This isn't the digs for tonight, is it?
If we're staying in Leonora, it's probably better.
They had a kitchen extension. That's a hole in the wall.
Yeah, it's 1938. This one, guys. So.
This is you.
Check out this picnic table. You don't see many with chairs like that.
Oh, this one's got a French.
Got a what?
Proper bosh.
Oh wow. Yeah. Goodness me. Skylight.
It's pine, not jarrah. And when it's still here, the oil sands up either. It wasn't like
Nah, this was just a deserted fucking ghost town. It was all just basically.
I don't think they've moved these buildings.
But what I'm saying is it wasn't like this. It was
No,
just fucking.
They've tarted it up a bit, have they?
just a ramshackle.
It was just all desk. Yeah, it was just all.
Hey. So this is the main house. And what are they?
It's your accommodation.
Yeah, it must be, mustn't it?
This is the guest
Try this one. Oh, this one's still got one of the old timers in. It's been here since.
Before you came in. Disturbing me from your beauty sleep.
These are super tiny. What an interesting place. Main guest home. Can't imagine the heat. Can't imagine the heat, what the heat would have been like in these places in summer.
It's more to the point, fucking cold. Do you know how cold it gets out?
Yeah, I would imagine the cold would be ridiculous. One sec, John.
Icy.
Oh, there's an old boy doing a bit of cooking here. What are you having?
What's your poison? Got a rat in the pan. But I think this is it.
Look how unlevel that floor is. I wouldn't like to put skirting boards in here, John. I wouldn't like to put skirting boards in here. Look how slopey that floor is. This will all be locked up, won't it? Look at that there, see that wiggly line? That's a snake track. Well, there's been a bit of a snakey doing its thing. Jeez Louise. Colossal, isn't it? Look at the great big coils of wire there. Bloody hell. Did that come out your toolkit on your bike?
I wouldn't have been popping weirdways.
Come on. It's time you earned your keep. It's time you earned your keep. Now come on, put your back into it this time. It's only 50 years since that's moved. Go on, push, push, push. Oh, yeah, I've got it, yeah!
Right, come do this now, lads. I'm loosening it off for you.
Okay, so it's the morning of day 3, and we've just we organised a bit of breakfast to be brought to the room, and that's just arrived. We were there was a little thing you could fill in with if you wanted a bacon and egg. We was expecting a bacon and egg sandwich, and that's what's just arrived. So all good. I will show you around the palace in a few minutes. So breakfast now consumed. I'll show you around the palace. So we're in Leonora. I forgot to show you as I walked in yesterday, but this is what you get in Leonora at the Motor Inn. So it's all right. It's all right. It's a bit basic, but it's okay. I've got to say that bed isn't particularly comfy. Didn't have such a good night's sleep last night, but it'll do. So I get packed up. Bike is just outside. So we just had our brekkie, and we will get packed up and on the road fairly soon, I would think. So we're back at Menzies. This is the 3rd time, isn't it, John? We've been to Menzies. So we're back at Menzies because we keep having to keep pass through here. We're back at the. It's actually quite a good little cafe here. So, and this is where there is no fuel, but there is coffee. And there may or may not be a chocolate brownie in that bag, but we'll not talk about that. So what do you think of the show so far, John? Rubbish. There's John telling another story. So from here we're back to Kalgoorlie. Kalgoorlie, Paul?
Menzies.
No, this is Menzies.
Oh, yeah.
We're back to Kalgoorlie after here.
Kalgoorlie, yeah, we'll top it with fuel there.
Yep.
And then we'll go and have a look at the super pit.
Yeah, the super pit. That'd be good. So we've just arrived at the super pit back in Kalgoorlie. We'll have a bit of a nosy round and then probably lunch, I would think. Windy up here. That's a big one. That
is impressive.
Whichever way you look at it, it's a big hole, isn't it? Wow.
Where did they process?
Look at those little trucks there on that pathway coming up, back up. They're massive. Those are those huge big trucks. And they look so small. God, how many is there going up and down there? Wow. Welcome to the Super Pit Lookout. We should read all this and then take the quiz. So that was the Super Pit at Kalgoorlie. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. So we've just had a bit of lunch. A very nice ham and cheese toasty in Boulder, Kalgoorlie. And this guy now is trying to blow a load of shit all over our bikes, I think. They do seem to get a lot of pleasure out of that. So we've just stopped for a quick leg stretch on the way to Norseman, but also to have a quick look at this. That is a replica of the biggest gold nugget ever found, is it? Is it the biggest gold nugget ever found?
It was at the time,
It was at the time. Yes, so there you go.
Jimmy Larkin.
Home of the Golden Eagle. There you go. So if you want to read about that, you can pause that there. And if you don't want to read about it, don't. So we're going to continue on now to Norseman, which is our night 3. And yeah, all good. I'll try and remember to take the camera into the digs as we get there this time. So we're in Norseman, And this apparently is the Norseman. Ta-da! Okay, so this is the Norseman beacon lookout, as you can see, and we appear to be very high. Check that out. God, you can see for miles.
On the left hand side. Couldn't miss it. Fucking huge thing up into the air.
Horse was lying and found a bunch of gold in it, so maybe it is got this gold like yeah, I think so.
562 colours from Perth.
That's gold there, so
Okay, so we've just arrived at the Great Western Inn Norseman, and let's see where we're going to be staying. You can see it as, oopsie daisy. Now then, wrong key. That was a 50-50 chance, wasn't there? Oh. Aha, here we go. Ready? Ta-da! Oh, wow. Now, glamorous. This is not. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. Now then, lights. Wow. This is somewhat basic. But it'll do. It'll do. I think that telly is just a touch on the small side, and I think that should be outside. Morning all. So it's just before 6. I think I might be the first up today. We're in Norseman, heading down to Esperance today, and we're going to go and see the Pink Lake and something else, can't remember what else. But it's a nice, fresh, quite a fresh morning, but it should be good, looking forward to it. So we've just had breakfast. Interesting. Check this out for presentation. Impressive, what do you think? So we have arrived in Esperance, and where we're staying is very nice. These are two shared apartments down here. John's upstairs, and as it happens, I finished up in an annex building, which is a new development that they've done about 300 metres down the road, which I've just had a quick look at, dropped my bags off. I've not videoed it yet because the young lady was in there cleaning it, so I'll show you that in a little bit. But we're going to go for a bit of a wander around Esperance now and just see some sights. This is the lookout. So let's go and look out. Okay, so there is the town of Esperance and some rather magnificent beaches in Esperance. Pretty nice, eh? Unbelievably impressive beaches. Amazing. Okay, so this is the Pink Lake at Esperance, which when I spin round, you see, sadly, isn't pink at the moment. This is the second time I've been here, and it's not been pink. It's only pink at certain times of the year, I think.
Not so pink lake.
So anybody who's interested in why the lake is pink, you can pause it on that. That's what it looks like at sometimes it looks like that. Just sadly not when we're here to see it.
Esperance pink granite, beautiful stone that we quarry locally here in Esperance. When it's or the stone.
Oh well, if you touch them, they feel very much like polystyrene.
I'm feeling it.
So this is the only full-size reproduction of Stonehenge anywhere in the world. Apparently it's positioned exactly right for the sun to rise in a certain place at a certain time on a certain day. There you go. I've driven past this before and half imagined that these might be like fiberglass pretend stones, but they're actually not. They are. It's real stone. And that central column there directly in front of us, she was just saying, each of those pillars that support that lintel on the top, each one of those pillars is 50 tons in weight, and the pillar on the top is 18 ton. That's pretty colossal. Equally impressive is these two guys here. Yeah. John on the left is a similar age to the original Stonehenge. John on the right is not far behind him. What do you think, JB? Impressed?
I've been here before, mate.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sort of nothing new to you then.
No, check your icon when we did a...
I saw you in this JB was here.
Here you go. Talking of old relics, smile, Paul. Well, that was kind of interesting. I wouldn't say overwhelming, but it was interesting. Nice to see. So we're back at our digs, and this is the one that this is the annex that they kind of put me in, which is this one, and I seem to have scored. I think there was a reason. Somebody extended a stay, and I think they upgraded this booking. So nice bedroom, nice bathroom, lovely lounge, nice big telly, oh, gourmet kitchen, al fresco, and I have a garage which we've just discovered fits all 6 bikes in. So everybody's is nice and safe for tonight. So dinner is at the pier in Esperance tonight.
I think he wears a beard so that it covers his.
So it's Friday morning and the boys will be here in about half an hour to pick the bikes up. I'm just getting packed up now, and then we're off to Katanning today, which is about 480 k's, so a fairly lengthy ride today. Should be good. So we've just arrived in Ravensthorpe. The GoPro's been doing all sorts of weird shit on the way, so I'm not really sure what I've managed to capture and what I've not. Time will tell. But we just stopped for a quick cuppa, and some of them are having a bite to eat, and then we'll crack on to Katanning, I suppose. Another 200 or so k's to go yet. Maybe a bit more actually, about 250 I think. So these are the painted silos at Ravensthorpe. Double-sided. Pretty damn cool that actually. What a feat that must have been to paint them. That's a hell of a big mouse. So we've just arrived in Jarramungup. Everybody's gone over to the fuel station to fill up and get a bite to eat. Me and John have brought sandwiches that we picked up at the bakery this morning, which I'm looking forward to. But just check this out. That amount of flies is literally just from the last 45 minutes. The camera, I've just cleaned the camera off because the camera that I'm just recording on now looked like that a few seconds ago. The bike is absolutely minging. It's going to take Angie hours to clean this when I get home. You know, I make a butty, don't they, at that place? You eat so much ham, I'm surprised you've not got a little curly tail.
You might have. Oh yeah.
So we've just travelled down the horsepower highway where there's been tractors and such like all the way down this highway. Kind of cool. So we've just arrived at our digs in Katanning. I can't remember what the motel's called, but let's take you for a look round. What is it? The Jumbuck. The Jumbuck Motel in Katanning. There we go. My favourite, painted brick. And now then. Well, it'll do. It'll do. Let's get unpacked. Getting quite used to this packing and unpacking malarkey. Getting it off to a tee now.
I'm a teapot. I'm a teapot.
I just spotted this and I thought this was quite funny. There's only about 3 sheets left on there, but they still folded it into a triangle. So Mr. Stout wanted to come and look at this very swish all ages park, apparently, which is really quite nice, to be fair. So maybe he'll want us to push him on the swings or something, I'm not sure. This John seems to be quite impressed with it. He's having some sort of seizure. Go on, Paul.
God, it's been a lot of years since I've been on a swing.
It's an impressive park, isn't it? Look at that bloody slide up there, the yellow one. Come on, John, you can do it. Look at this. Hey, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. If one of you wheezes down it, the other one will go faster.
Ready? It is, yeah.
Sponsored by Ducati. It's in the Ducati yellow.
So according to John, if he's got his history right, this house is kind of the founding brothers of this town. They built this house and this was the beginning of the town of Katanning.
Never killed to find.
This is an impressive,
Yeah, well, what he did is he had a
impressive place.
He used to have a kiln and fire that made bricks and beverage, eh?
Flour mill.
Yeah.
It used to produce electricity, obviously.
The other John's just mentioned that this is apparently the first country town to have electric street lighting. If he's right with that. Quite an impressive place, wouldn't you say? Now,
There you go.
this
Katanning,
building,
WA's first
which you'll
electric street lights.
never guess, is actually, believe it or not, a dome. Who'd have thought it? Just check this out for a dome. This is quite amazing in here. I don't know what this factory was originally. This is no typical dome. Look at that. Amazing.
We'll be in the bar.
The cordial bar. Oh wow. The light shining through the floor, John. Unbelievable. That's really good, isn't it?
It's not going to do that.
This has to be the coolest dome in Western Australia, without doubt. So it's our last morning. We're actually, we've left the digs and we're on our way home. So we've just stopped in a little town called Dumbleyoung, which is, I think this was the home of Donald Campbell. We've come to look at Bluebird, the boat that was raced on Windermere, if I've got my facts straight. Here it is. So is this the actual boat? Oh, of course it is, of course it is. Yes, of course it is. No, it's the bottom of Windermere, isn't it? So this is a reproduction of the boat. Wow.
It's got to be a jet if it's kerosene, sure.
Yeah, kerosene stored in the same tank.
Bluebird K7.
650 gallons of kerosene an hour, 3,000 litres an hour. Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is impressive, actually. You wouldn't like to get in that and do that sort of speed, would you? Nah. JB, who's hiding behind this bush, has been having a bit of a problem. How is it, JB? Is it all right? Is it all right? Is it staying up?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Good. Well, it's another beautiful day. We've been really quite fortunate with the weather. Looks like we're going to get home warm and dry. And right up until the point where John said we're doing quite well, there's not been many flies, we were doing quite well. But then he jinxed us. And since then, we're covered. So following the night's previous debacle, we finally managed to get our Chinese last night. It wasn't a glamorous place. I'll put a picture up. But in actual fact, the food was quite good. We did enjoy that. It was a bit of a cafe type environment, but the food was quite good. I kind of picked the wrong thing, I think, really. It was just a little bit hot for me. But it was okay, we enjoyed it, it was a good night. So onward and upward. I believe the next stop is Wagen, where there's a giant fiberglass ram, apparently, and we need to go and see. So we're in Wagen now, and apparently there's a giant ram around here somewhere. Now then, John. Bet you've got something rude to say about that ram, haven't you?
Got the nuts on it.
You got to check him if he's ready to go out with the girls. In the summer they go down a bit lower.
Who's we talking about now, the Rams or John's?
Anybody tells you any different, they're lying.
I think we're going to go and try and find a cup of tea somewhere now. So we've just pulled up at Brookton for a quick top up of the tanks and to say goodbye to Mike. He's heading off home to Beverley now, and we'll shortly be splitting up a bit more ourselves. I think we're calling at a little cafe on the way back for a bite to eat yet. But we're nearing end of the trip. Shame. So this is our last stop before we part company. We've lost Mike and one of the Johns already. Sorry?
Half string.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much.
The cat with 3. There you go.
Thank you. Chocolate?
Yes. Did you want marshmallows? I can go get some.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So would you like to say goodbye, guys?
complain. It's been a fantastic trip and everybody's been brilliant.
John?
Yep, I agree with everything. Thanks to Paul for leading most of the way and for Mike for doing the last section. Great week.
And and John the bobtail basher.
Oh, two on one
We've
trip.
we've seen two bobtails on the trip, and John's ran over them both.
Did you get that one on?
Yeah.
Did you?
It went that
But yeah,
way. As soon as I came back,
it's been a great trip. I've fully enjoyed it. Thanks to everybody.
Turned round.
Catch you all again soon. Ta-ra.